We're into the intel now, and I'm going to read part of what was in the last show because some people missed it, with it being of a Friday, and also we ran the From Russia with Love, and then add new bits to it. Now, the planetary alignment plan failed. Another one of the clown games. And then they rolled on to the next event, which was financial. Welcome to the 15th. And no deep state pay again. Yet again, they were waiting for the Fed door to open, and yet again, for what is now an embarrassing 30 years of trying, it failed. And then the bombshell from Russia took place, and the whole cabinet of Russian government resigned, except Putin. Now, this sent the agencies of the former Five Eyes and other top brass into total panic mode. But this was not the Russian government who resigned, but the Russian deep state who resigned. Now, we knew this was coming, as we got word they had given the Rothschilds et al. A final date for the payouts, and it failed again. Now, the ultimate was made quite a few weeks back, and from our standpoint, we just wasn't sure if they would walk the walk when the D-Day came. Well, they did. And this created the agencies in America to go into full panic mode. The Fed also, they had just gotten news that their repo bubble is completely imploding, as we warned it would. And we suspect that they will back down on certain trade deals, some of which had taken place and some didn't. And they also said you may well see before the end of this month high-profile resignations here and elsewhere. We are aware of the names involved, but we will not be releasing them in case it jeopardizes anything. It's not a secret, it's operational. Resignations or firings then appeared next in Norway, home of the NATO clans. Hello, Mr. Robert David Steele. And said to be about links to ISIS, and that may well be the case, but it was not the primary cause. Then last Wednesday, clowns, which was which date? The 15th, same date. It's always connected. The clowns were trying to run their new super duper extra special quantum system, and everything was set to happen, which was last Wednesday, the 15th, same as their failed payout date. And it all ended in tears. Servers and other operational rooms were rendered obsolete. Not fried this time, but turned into dust. And this I can now reveal was in Paraguay, under a certain bush ranch. Oh my. The clown elites and special groups, as they call themselves, were also trying several other programs that would have affected the price of food globally upwards and sent energy prices skyrocketing. Other plans of theirs would have closed off whole or all sections of the internet, along with several other non-thought-out programs and proposals, which would have tipped the whole planet into chaos, including themselves, I might add. And that's what happens when you don't think properly. Anyway, all of them were averted last week, and the question remains to everyone and the clowns is, what happens next? Now, following certain groups and their latest attempt to trick, seduce, steal or control from Kim and the Trust that failed last week, all hell broke loose on all top levels of the old system. And last weekend brought hasty meetings from people all around the globe. They were all there, which started at 10 a.m. Saturday morning and went right through to Sunday evening. On Monday morning, that same meeting continued until 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which was just 30 minutes before Mr. Trump left for Switzerland and the Davos meeting. Now, those meetings involved top brass from several countries, some of which of the debates were interesting, but there was also the usual self-serving aspect that was prevalent, but also self-preservation situation of which we have a solution for, which I will bring up in the op-ed section. Then the UK Cabinet, which had been mentioned in December, was confirmed and was banned from attending the Rothschilds' country orders retreat, better known as the Davos meeting. Now, this could mean one of two things, or also both. The MI5-6, which runs the UK government along with the Black Freemasons out of the City of London, have turned the war on the Rothschilds group because they are members of the Order of the Black Sun cult. Or they got wind of the Rothschilds trying to take money off other countries, none of which have any, in an attempt to stay in control of all the Commonwealth countries. So what was it that started this latest panic, which will not go away, I might add? Well, apart from failing to hack the system several hundred times, including that clown in San Francisco, the loss of another main computer in Paraguay, the failure to deliver the RV after another cut-off date was put forward, their delusional planetary alignment plans failing on the 10th and 11th of January. The biggest reason was when the Trust called in all of the debt with the central bank bonds. All groups now are declared responsible for the debt, be it the military, the agencies, the Fed, and all the central banks. All of it was borrowed by the Rothschilds or the Black Sun in their name. And no one has the ability to pay it all back. Paying even some of it back would bankrupt every single country, every bank also, Central Reserve or otherwise. The relevant groups to us are now getting very edgy. By relevant groups to us, I'm talking about the military, the agencies, and in some ways, some of the banks also. Because although their top rank people followed the Rothschilds clan or the Black Sun, a lot of the minions don't. They just want to be paid. And most of them haven't been paid for some time now, as we've been hearing at regular intervals for the past 8 to 12 months, as they were all told to wait for the RV to pay out, which will never happen in a million years of Drake's 2 weeks predictions, which is like never. Now, the light at the end of the tunnel came into view come Monday morning. The factions are breaking, and as forecasted, they would turn on each other and within their own ranks as their let's look after us mode kicked in. Now, eventually, we will arrive at a point of mutual interest. Ours is far longer than theirs. And I mean mutual. And yes, we will look after all of your issues, but we want guarantees that if we garnish you out of the trust, you will devote all your time going forward to looking after all of the people. And I mean all. Your harvesting program is over and it's not coming back.